Hey, what is up, guys? What's happening, YouTube? You are tuned into Rules for Rebels, and we are back with another episode of Side Hustle Tuesdays. Today's episode is episode number 66 of our side hustling series, and I think you guys are really going to enjoy today's story. If you enjoy these side hustling series, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and ring that bell so you're notified of future episodes as well. Today's story is about dreadlocks. You guys know the Rastafarian / Jamaican type of dreadlocks. Now, I'm not sure if any of you guys have ever tried to grow them. If so, feel free to drop a comment below and tell us about your experience. As you guys know, I have long hair. In my younger days, I had long hair as well. And a couple times I had contemplated growing them out, but never actually did. I know very little about them, but the little bit I know is that they can take a very, very long time to grow. And one way to speed up the process is by not washing your hair, but who wants to go weeks or even months without washing your hair? Especially if you're active or work out or work a job that makes you sweat. Doesn't sound too pleasant. But what if you could fast track the process and still wash your hair and stay clean and smell nice? Well, that's a problem that today's side hustler faced, and she created her own solution, and that's what today's side hustle story is about. Another thing I really liked about today's side hustler story is that this business was created outside of this side hustler's 9-to-5 job, and it was started with only $150. I really love these stories of successful businesses that are very relatable and attainable, and this one definitely is. Today's side hustler has her own lock-accessory store. She's making money, and a pretty considerable amount of it as well. She's serving a group of people with an unmet need, and she's doing something she enjoys, and all while outside of working a 9-to-5 full-time job. So today's side hustler is Kay Hill, and Kay is making a product. Kay is a product marketing manager who works for a mobile healthcare company in the greater Chicagoland area, my hometown. So today's side hustler is a neighbor of mine. Kay is also a lifelong crafter and has always loved to tinker with things. She's the type who as a kid would take apart her toys to see how they worked, and as an adult she's always been very involved in crafting and making things as well. Kay's crafting skills really came in handy when she started growing her dreadlocks. Now, for anybody who's not familiar with dreadlocks, think Bob Marley. I'll also drop a couple pictures in for you guys as well. When Kay was getting started, she did a bit of research on growing dreadlocks, and she found there's only a couple methods for doing so. One involves using a tool to twist your hair, but apparently this tool can damage both your hair and your scalp, so she decided against it. Another method is called palming and involves twisting and retwisting your hair until it becomes a single coil, then waiting for new growth to come in and doing it all over again. This can take a very, very long time to do, and unfortunately the only way to speed up the process is to not wash your hair, which Kay really wasn't down with. So what does a creative person like Kay do? She developed a tool she called the Instalock, which locks the hair instantly. It solved both her problems. It didn't damage her hair, and it sped up the process of growing dreads. Until somewhat recently, there wasn't a whole lot of tools and products on the market for people with dreads, so Kay decided to sell this tool along with some other products she makes, as well as a few other that she sources from Alibaba suppliers. Her startup costs were incredibly low, just $150, which went to a domain, hosting, a custom website theme, and some supplies to begin making her products. How did it turn out, you ask? Well, to date, she's grossing $3,500 to $4,000 per month, and most of her products have pretty good margins, so a good amount of that money is pure profit. Right now, the majority of her sales do come from Amazon. However, she is still selling through her site as well. Kay says while Amazon takes quite a bit of money from her in selling fees, storage fees, and fulfillment fees, she's willing to put up with it for now, as Amazon brings her a lot of sales she probably wouldn't have otherwise have gotten, and it helps her find a lot of new customers. She is, however, putting more of a focus on her website and growing that, as well as trying to convert a lot of her Amazon customers to website customers where she pays less in fees and is able to develop a closer relationship with them and better remarket to them. Kay has a variety of products she sells herself, some of which she makes herself and others which she sources from suppliers on Alibaba. She uses her graphic design skills to mock up 2D models of what she's looking to have made, and then goes about contacting suppliers who make similar items and seeing if they get her vision and if she thinks they are capable of making what she's looking to have made, and then she moves forward and passes her design along to them to make. Some of her other products include things like her shampoo brushes and sleeping caps, and those items, since they're already being made by Alibaba suppliers, she just private labels them and orders them wholesale from Alibaba suppliers. Kay's business continues to grow, and she's adding more products as well. She's also created a new hair tool, which was just recently issued a provisional patent. She's currently working with an industrial designer to have it prototyped, and she believes the tool will have a huge impact in the world of dreadlocks. I think Kay has built herself a great little business here. I think her story shows you can start an e-commerce business with very little money. I think it also shows there's money to be made in what you may think are smaller or more obscure niches. It doesn't really matter if it's a small niche, if you can find one that's underserved, and if you can find a niche and solve their problems. Now, I took a look over Kay's website, and overall, I think she's done a very good job. One thing I noticed when I heard about her business, I was expecting like a Rasta sort of theme, red, green, and yellow colors, lions, Bob Marley. So I was surprised to see a much more clean and professional image or lifestyle kind of brand. I think that's kind of cool and something I've noticed with a lot of businesses. I've talked about this a little bit on the channel. I was recently looking into starting a rolling paper company, and one thing I learned upon doing my research is that today's buyers are a little bit more sophisticated. Even with something like rolling papers, people don't really want Rasta colors and stoner themes. People are looking for a more sophisticated, high-end theme or lifestyle or vibe, and I think Kay has really done a good job of doing that with her site. A couple small changes I might make if it were my site. I might try to give the site a little bit more of a brand image. The homepage, it does have a little like scrolling bar at the top. It does feature a lot of great products, but I think there could be a stronger brand or lifestyle image. Another tip or something I may also do is feature more products on a model in addition to just the product alone on a white background. Well, it's nice to see the product in fine detail and by itself and on its own, and very clearly. It also helps people pull the trigger if they see what they're buying, if they see what it looks like on a person. It can help them envision what it would look like on them. And especially since many of these products are very simple, just a piece of leather and a bead, this can also help convey a stronger brand image or lifestyle as well. And then one last thing, there's a few other products she has priced at $4. I personally would probably try to up the price on some of these. She's selling a good amount of them, so there's clearly a demand. And while $8 may be a little bit steep, even at $6 you make 50% more, and it makes it a bit more worthwhile packing orders. As your store grows, packing and shipping orders is going to take up more and more of your time, and if you're selling lots of $4 items, that's a lot of time wasted for a little profit. So even squeezing out an extra $2 is a 50% better margin, and it could make the world of difference, and it will make packing up all these orders a lot more worthwhile. Anyhow, I hope you guys liked today's story. I know I definitely did. I found this story very motivational and inspirational, being that she started this with only $150 and outside of her 9-to-5 job. Anyhow, guys, that is today's side hustle story. If you enjoyed it, I'd greatly appreciate it if you could give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Until next time, I'm Johnny. This is Rules for Rebels and Side Hustle Tuesdays, signing off.